All right, let's dive into a big one. We're going to talk about an idea that feels so right, so logical, but can be so wrong. It's that thought that, I'll just wait to save for retirement. I'll do it when I'm older and making more money. Today, we're going to see if the math actually backs that up.
We've all been there, right? You punch your numbers into one of those online retirement calculators, and it spits out this huge, terrifying number. And you just think, $2 million? How on earth am I supposed to do that? It's completely overwhelming, and it makes kicking that can down the road feel really good.
And that feeling, that's the heart of the I'll save later myth. The whole idea is simple. You think, hey, my career is going to take off, my salary will go up, and saving a big chunk of cash will be way easier then than it is for me right now.
I mean, it makes sense on the surface, doesn't it? Of course it's easier to save when you have more money coming in. But today, we're going to put that logic to the test. We're going to ask the big question. Is it really true? Does the math actually work out?
To find that answer, we first have to understand money's secret power. It's this incredible force that's always working in the background, and frankly, it is the biggest enemy of the whole I'll save later strategy.
And that secret power? It's called the time value of money. All it really means is that a dollar today is worth way more than a dollar in the future. Why? Well, because that dollar you have right now can be put to work. It can be invested, it can start earning returns, and then, here's the magic part, those returns start earning their own returns. That's compounding, and it's the engine that grows your wealth.
Let's just see how this works. Let's make it real. Imagine you invest one single dollar. That's it, just $1, today. Okay, now fast forward 20 years. Assuming a pretty standard 7% real return, that's your growth after inflation is taken out. That $1 has turned into almost $4. Pretty good, right? But wait, let's go just 10 more years into the future. Look at this. It's more than doubled again. It's now worth over $7.50. You can start to see how the growth is picking up speed. And after 40 years, that one single dollar you started with is now worth nearly $15. So think about that. Every dollar you don't save early on is a potential $15 you're just leaving on the table. Okay, but I can hear you saying, what about my future paycheck? Let's talk about the part of the myth that feels so right, the fact that you're going to make more money later. And you're not wrong about that. The data is pretty clear. For most of us, our real compensation, that's your salary after you account for inflation, will typically triple from when we start our careers to when we hit our peak earning years around age 50. So, we've got our two contenders in a race. In one lane, you've got your income, which is going to triple. And in the other lane, you've got the ticking clock of compounding interest. So who wins? Let's look at the data. So this chart shows how savings can grow over 40 years. You see how it starts out kind of flat and then just skyrockets up at the end? That's what we call the J-curve of compounding. And the really wild thing here is that the most explosive, most powerful growth happens in just those last 10 or 15 years. Now this next chart helps us zoom in on that path to our $2.5 million goal. The arrows show when different savings plans hit that target. And look closely. See how the gaps between the arrows get smaller as you move from right to left? That's a huge clue. It's telling us that to reach your goal just a little bit sooner, you have to save a lot more money each month. You know what? Let's just break this down into a simple table. So to hit that goal, you could save $1,000 a month for 40 years. But if you wait 10 years, you got to double it to $2,000 a month. Okay, fine. But if you wait 20 years, you don't just double it again. You have to jump all the way to $5,000 a month. The amount you need to save is accelerating way faster than time is passing. So let's bring it all together. Let's deliver the final verdict on the save later myth by just doing some really simple math. So here's that race we were talking about, side by side. If you start early with your 1x income, you need to save $1,000 a month. If you wait until mid-career, yes, your income is 3 times higher. But to hit the same goal in half the time, your required savings have gone up by 5 times. And this chart shows you exactly why. If you start early, saving that $1,000 a month for 40 years, you only have to put in about $480,000 of your own money. The other 81%, that's over $2 million, that's basically free money generated by the market. Time does almost all of the heavy lifting for you. Now look at the person who waited. To get to that same $2.5 million, they have to personally shovel in $1.2 million. They're doing almost half of the work all by themselves because they gave up all those precious early years of compounding. The market just doesn't have enough time to help them out. And there it is. That's the knockout punch to the I'll save later myth. Yes, your income will probably triple, But to catch up, the amount you'll need to save will grow by 5 times. Your salary just can't win a race against the power of lost time. The math is it's clear. Waiting for a bigger paycheck to start saving is a losing game. It might feel easier today, but you are making your future so much harder, exponentially harder. So the only real question left is, how are you going to pay your future self?